Now ETN to start the drive. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. You talk about this Rams defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the number 1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 32-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they say it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. In motion, it's Miller. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams' 18. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give them 12 yards that time. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. A shotgun snap, Fields. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Throwing again is Fields. Touchdown, Saints. Chris Olave with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Saints will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
This could be it. This could be it. This could be the turning point. Let's go. Let's go now. Let's keep it moving. Okay. Let's make some good plays today. Come on. Let's go.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now back to throw. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. First and 10, it's ETN. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Fields. And he's caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
Eluding the pressure right. And this one into the hands of Ingram downfield. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
It seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Fields. Flush to his right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the Rams are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. You look at the Saints defense. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
He's going to float this over the middle deep. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Oh, that's one as a quarterback where you put both hands on your helmet and say, I can't believe I just did that. If he puts a little more touch on that ball, the receiver's still running. Instead, it's just an incomplete pass.
Taken in at the 22. And that one a 55-yard punt, 13 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. From here, this would have been a 48-yarder, but no, they're going to go for it. They snap it to Fields. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll try the left side with Etienne. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Travis Etienne with his 14th rushing touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Now Fields going to move him around. It's complete, and he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Okay, ready?
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. But they did get helped out by the open week last week. And in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Brian Brzee fought in and got him down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
70. 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let this one go deep right sideline. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A throw over the middle, taken in. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
It's 2nd and inches. At the Saints'
Again, he'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Saints are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Still on his feet. Now look out, Travis Etienne. Touchdown, New Orleans. Travis Etienne with career touchdown number 60. And the Saints continue to pull away here in this first half. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll set up to run the quarterback draw. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
They're on 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
On 2nd and 10, Fields. Olave holds it in. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here's Fields. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Monday. EQ. West side zip.
Again, Fields. Touchdown! Chris Olave on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints are pouring it on. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
You know the owner's got to be happy with that one.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And the Saints pressure gets it. Brought down for a sack. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
He already did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes on the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe break out later in this one or in a future game.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st.
Trap 60.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he is caught. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
70 Ranger, 70 Ranger.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Dragon 60.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Flush to his right. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Cooper Kupp, 30 yards. And the Rams get a bit closer. Point after, up and good. And that will cut this lead down to 24. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Fields changing the play. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Etienne up the middle. There he goes left side. Travis Etienne, touchdown, New Orleans. Travis Etienne, 61 yards. And the Saints just continue to roll. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And now here is another interception. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On first down, Fields. They'll drop that underneath to Etienne. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Fields throwing again.
He completes it to Olave. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 29-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line.
Easy. Yep.
Here's Fields. And that's going to be caught by Sutton. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw. Fields. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cortland Sutton. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Fields trying to throw for it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
I know we can sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Once again, it's Swift. Now he's free at the 35. DeAndre Swift. And touchdown. DeAndre Swift. 67 yards. And the Rams get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Point after, right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pull it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
A first down there on a pickup of 25.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like, that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but That lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post.
Oh, a dangerous pass there, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Rams are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
The Rams take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from, he's got him in, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Cooper Kupp with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Rams take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to 24. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Their own 20-yard line.
Here we go.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think that might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he trotted out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
Back to the air, Fields on 2nd down. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Fields. He lets it go deep for Olave. It got his man complete. Down the right sideline. Touchdown, Saints. Chris Olave. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Saints add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll look to throw, and this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Personally, I'd rather see them kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Ready.
3rd and 8. He'll drop to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Talk about two sides of the ball across purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
This is fielded at the 27. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this team continues to stake its claim as Super Bowl favorites. They are now eyeing an 8th straight win as they begin this drive here in the 4th quarter. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. The pass caught by Olave. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Another big play here as they strike for 31.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
Fields on 1st down. Flushed out right. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
They'll try and throw for it. Buying time to his left. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Come on.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Roll. Hut.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And my goodness, another interception. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
At the 19-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Hey, 551, 551. Hey, 10. Out, let's go. Right.
That one looks like he'll throw here. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
EQ. Extend. Right.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Hey, never mind. Monday. EQ. West right zip.
They snap it to Fields. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Now Fields. And this is going to be intercepted.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Boys, we got this. People are getting paid.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. They'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running...
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. And the Saints are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was